All right, so for week 3 of summer anime, it is Gojover, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you watched the most recent Jujutsu Kaisen episode because I'm gonna talk about it. A lot of sick action there. Bleach continues to impress. The animation, the OST, everything is so cool. Psalm 100, we made a new character, so the story continues. Mushoku Tensei. The story's also popping off, it's continuing. So yeah, all these shows are very good. And yeah, let's talk about the animes this week. So starting with Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2, Episode 3. This episode popped off like no other. This new animation style, I'm loving it. The comedy, this whole arc. The story is like kind of crazy. I am a manga reader, but I love seeing anime-only reactions to this episode because, bro, it was so crazy. Seeing our boy Gojo get bodied. Yes, that happened towards the middle of this episode. So at first, let's like go in chronological order. First, we see that Gojo saved Amane, the star plasma vessel, from the like shadow clone jutsu guy. He had a bag on his head. Gojo, he couldn't really do his red technique, so that's like a bit unrefined. But after that, they realized that the maid Kuroe, she's kidnapped. So, oh no, we gotta go rescue her. And there was like this long drawn out speech on if they should rescue her. It'd be easier to go back to school. But then no, like Amane's like begging, oh, please save her. And then, you know, let me come with you as well. Gojo's like, bro, you gotta prepare for it. Okay, it was so serious, but then they saved her in 2 seconds. And they went to Okinawa. The music was also very chill. Like, okay, Okinawa, and then the opening plays. So yeah, everyone's just like having a fun vacation. They kind of did this on purpose, showing that like these enemies are not really threats to Gojo and Geto. They're literally the strongest. So if you like have hostages, kidnappers, they can just track your ass down and fold you so easily. So yeah, our 2 dudes are just relaxing. They're you know, playing with Amane. She's on the beach and it's like very fun. We see there's some problems though. So yeah, they want to like keep like, you know, having fun, enjoying the tourism. But yeah, like there's like assassins attacking them. So Gojo has to use this technique for like 2+ days straight, no sleep. So his cursed energy is like draining. But yeah, they want to make Amane happy since it's her last day like on the planet basically. So it's pretty wholesome to see Gojo like really want to take care of this girl. And yeah, they do everything. They like hang out, go to the aquarium. We see Amane has like some type of internal struggle actually. But besides that, it's all chill. We also see Nanami and this other guy, Yu. He's as serious as ever, but yeah, they're also like, you know, providing support. Not really focused heavily, but yeah, they're part of the cast. So after finishing their whole tourism trip, they're back to Jujutsu High. Mission accomplished, problem solved. Psych, yo, Megami's dad, Toji, comes out behind Gojo and stabs him with a straight up katana. Like, Gojo could not sense him. That was insane. So yeah, we see this is like the first serious injury that Gojo has suffered through the series, so this is no joke. So yeah, this fight is really serious. Geto summons like this giant worm to swallow up Toji, but yeah, it's pretty ineffective. So yeah, basically Gojo, he kind of, you know, hardens his cursed energy and he tells everyone else to leave while he like fights Toji. So yeah, when Gojo got stabbed, like he disabled his protective infinity barrier technique because he used it for like 2+ days straight, so he was restrained. But yeah, now he just like instantly activated it again. Since the sword missed his vitals, he kind of just like took it off, reinforced his body with cursed energy. So it didn't really do too much damage to him. But yeah, this fight is just getting started, and the fact that Toji made the first move like that showed that he has like the planning. So Toji is literally basically like Batman. This dude, he actually has no like cursed energy, no powers. So his true ability to beat all these strong people is like planning, as well as having the heavenly restriction. So this dude is basically like Maki. So yeah, he's just like super strong, no cursed energy, but all his other like senses are enhanced. So he's like super fast. He's like kind of jumping around the forest outside of the school. And yeah, Gojo can't really sense him. We see that he has like this cursed spirit surrounding him as well that like he can carry weapons inside of, so that's kind of cool. So yeah, basically this fight keeps going. We see Toji just jumping around the shrines, going across trees. But then Gojo is also really strong, so he has this blue technique. He's just making it so Toji can't sneak up on him by like destroying everything, so there's no cover. So literally like a shit ton of collateral damage by Gojo, wiping out the whole shrine area in front of the school. And now yeah, Toji kind of retreated into the woods. So yeah, what is Toji's next move? So he summons a bunch of fly cursed spirits and they basically mask his scent. So now Gojo doesn't know where to look. He's like super hyper focused. He thinks Toji is going after Amane, so he actually like looks at the opposite direction. That's when Toji sneaks up on him. Very slick. The animation was clean, and he stabs Gojo in the neck with this new cursed object. It's called the inverted Spear of Heaven. So what it does, it basically nullifies cursed energy. Your cursed technique, it's over. So yeah, Gojo's infinity, like this shit just forcibly stops it. And yeah, he stabs Gojo, like because Gojo like uses power for defense, not offense. Stabs Gojo in the neck, drags the knife. It's not over. He drags it across his body, so brutal. And he pulls it out and he stabs it on his legs. So yeah, Gojo just gets stabbed like 5 times, and he has like this whole scar across his chest. His neck is bleeding. And for good measure, Toji pulls out another knife, stabs Gojo in the head and slams his head onto concrete. So his skull and brain are probably crushed, and it looks like this dude is dead. What the hell is gonna happen? Because we know, like, this is a flashback, so Gojo's the strongest in the current Jujutsu Kaisen timeline. So, I mean, he must survive here, surely. But, like, this is so brutal. Like, Toji kind of, like, swept Gojo so easily. It took a lot of planning, though, because, yeah, Toji admits that if it was just, like, a one-on-one straight-up fight, he would have lost because Gojo's just, like, that powerful. So, yeah, Toji just, like, uses clever tricks to get the upper hand. He doesn't have cursed energy. He doesn't have a technique to overwhelm people. So, he just has to rely on his speed, strength, weapons, and planning, basically. That was kind of brutal. We'll see what's gonna happen to Gojo, but yeah, he is dead, so okay, no, we'll forget about that. Geto does have a good head start, so him, Amane, and the maid Kuroi, they actually go downstairs. So they're about to, like, you know, get merged into a star plasma vessel. Mission's about to be accomplished. But, like, it's a bit sad because Kuroi doesn't want to leave. She kind of, like, tells us about her backstory, like, how her parents died. It felt kind of different for her, like, she wasn't, like, able to live like a normal girl, so that's, like, actually what she really wants. So Geto is like, you have two options, actually. So you could go downstairs, you could, you know, visit Tengen, assimilate into him. It'll be easy. Or you could just refuse. And then me and Gojo will protect you. And basically you'll live life as a normal girl. So Amane, she's like crying. She's like loving this opportunity. And she accepts. Geto pulls out his hand. The ending plays. It's actually pretty happy. So that's kind of unexpected. Do you know what's more unexpected? Toji just comes and bang! Glocks her in the head. What the hell? Just like a heavy ass pistol, and yeah, she is dead. Yeah, so she won't be in Jujutsu Kaisen 2. So yeah, I mean, they pulled this out on Junpei. So yeah, this show's not really shy showing us character deaths. And yeah, Amane, she had like his whole story with her, and then Toji just kills her. He could have like walked away because he didn't really need to kill her since she didn't like want to merge to the Star Plasma Vessel anyway. And that was so sad. You know, Geto, he's kind of surprised, like, bro, what happened? If you're here, that means Gojo's dead. So yeah, now it's like his turn to hold the line. He summons a bunch of cursed spirits, like a giant dragon and like this haunted mummy lady. So yeah, he's gonna fight Toji next. I mean, this is cool because Geto, he's like pretty strong. We don't know what's gonna happen to Gojo, but it is Gojover there. And yeah, this anime does continue. Really hype season. This is only episode 3, and this was just like an insane fight. The animation style was like a bit different from season 1. Kind of felt a bit faster with the fight being like very raw, just like characters just like flying around blasting things. This hidden inventory arc has been a banger, showing us all these cool backstories. And yeah, Jujutsu Kaisen continues. Okay, and now for Bleach, the 1,000-Year Blood War Part 2, Episode 3. Yes, this episode was so nice. Just like the fighting is continuing, but like a lot of hype moments. The OST like also popped off. So yeah, last episode we see like a lot of the captains, basically the Ice Guy and Soifan. They were getting bodied. So yeah, they didn't have like the power of their Bankai. So it looked like it was over for them. But then the thing is, Uruhara comes in. Bro, this dude's so cool. Just like coming in and he's like, there is a way to get your Bankai back. So yes, thank you for telling us the details. Just coming in and like he just solved the problem so quickly. Like there's like a lot of lore that was like pretty interesting as well. Like the reason Quincy's killed these hollows and like they did a lot of like mass hollow genocide 1,000 years ago isn't really because they hate hollows. It's because they're naturally weakened by them. So hollow blood is actually very poisonous to Quincy's. That's also why they didn't steal any of the hollows' powers when they were killing them, but they're stealing Soul Reaper's powers. So yeah, Uruhara kind of puts all of that together, and it's like, if you have a bit of hollow blood inside of you, then you're basically like a natural weakness to the Quincy's. So he spreads all these hollow pills around the battlefield, and basically all the captains are absorbing them. So we see that Toshiro, he absorbs it, and he gets his ice power back. The OST, when everyone's getting their power, was sick, and yeah, he like kind of grows his ice wings. He had like this big ice dragon around him, so his Bankai is there. And yeah, he's beating the guy who stole his technique. So yeah, this was very cool, just like kind of inspirational. We see Soifan also got hers back, so it was like the sniper rifle. Goddamn, that shit was sick. So yeah, there's like a lot of like brutal action happening, but the fighting is not over. There's still a lot of casualties, but it looks like the Soul Reapers have the upper hand as of now. And then we also see Shinji. So his Bankai is actually revealed here. It was like this long ass Japanese name. Sakashima Yokoshima Hapu Fusakari. I hope I pronounced that correctly, but it's basically kind of like a field where he makes every enemy attack each other. So he can't really use it in normal fights because like his allies would also attack each other. But here, since it's only Quincy's, he's just like unleashing it on them. Very cool. This dude just gives no fucks, and he just makes all the Quincy's attack each other. So that was cool. We see another fight with this dude with the lucha mask, but he doesn't seem to be like that serious of an enemy, I guess. And then Shinji starts using his power on the other like Quincy girl we've seen. So she's like the hot booba girl. So her squad of girls seems to have gone missing. So she starts to like explode everything around her. So yeah, her power is pretty huge. But then Shinji's like, okay, I can just like turn your world upside down. And it makes everything reversed for her. So yeah, left, right, up, down. All these words are like kind of reversed. So yeah, she's just like so disoriented. She can't really fight Shinji. So yeah, all the Soul Reapers are just like big chillin'. But then you watch, he's like, okay, there's another layer to this fight. I planned all of this out. Yeah, fuck you, you watch. But yeah, basically he's like, okay, now that you got your Bankais back, you kind of like powered up the Quincy's because they don't need the Bankais. They have like another level of power. So yeah, he kind of like enhances their power. I guess since he's the king, he can do this. So yeah, I guess they get a lot stronger as the episode ends. And then yeah, post credits we see Ichigo. He still has like barely made any progress. He's like walking in a straight line, trying to enhance his weapon, understand his soul, all of that. So I mean, it's probably gonna be sick when he does show up, like solve all the problems. Really love this episode. Like this part 2, this whole Blood Wars is like so insane. The characters are cool, animation is sexy, the OST goes so hard. Okay, so for Mushoku Tensei, Season 2, Episode 3. What the hell is this episode? We have an erectile dysfunction plot device. So that was like a bit unexpected. Like this anime is very horny, but like goddamn, we gotta solve Rudeus's problems. We got through his depression, but there's still so much trauma. You can't trust these women. So basically, like he gets really close to Sarah. He saved her life, and then yeah, they're just like talking all the time now. And he's also like really popular in Counter Arrow. His name gets around. So yeah, like Sarah invites him on a date. So yeah, it's like nice, cute, wholesome. The tsundere archer is in love with him. And yeah, after like a whole day of like going around, she kind of buys a new dagger. It's all good. They get to drinking at night, and basically Sarah kind of like wants to go to his room. So yeah, Rudeus kind of like picks up on all the signs. He's like, yeah, she's into me. Like, let's do it. I got the pass. So yeah, when they go into the room, it's like so pathetic because yeah, she's like all ready for him, and he can't get it up. His dick not hard. So yeah, I guess it was a nice date, and then after that, the mood was kind of ruined. And then yeah, Sarah kind of like, she goes back into her tsundere self. She's like, I hate you, Rudeus, you're the worst, saite. It just walks away. Holy shit. And then Rudeus is just like on all fours trying to jack himself off, get hard. It's so pathetic. I guess this was pretty well done because yeah, in this anime, a lot of people have sex. Sex is not really hidden. All these adventurers are super horny. But the problem is like for Rudeus, I guess he has to like feel emotionally attached. He went through a lot of trauma, a lot of trust issues. So like, even though he's like very attracted to women, he's very horny. When he has to do the job, when it really matters, yeah, he can't get hard. Also, yeah, since Eris left him, that trauma is also there. So yeah, all of that is like kind of interesting. So yeah, Rudeus is just like super sad now. He goes into a bar and then he's drinking and he's yelling. So he's not like the kind of calm, smiling Rudeus anymore. This was like a huge low point for him. So now he's just like super mad. And then now he sees a soldat. He's like the kind of like strong blonde guy that's like very arrogant. And he's like kind of making fun of Rudeus, and Rudeus had enough. No more smiling. He punches him. And then Soldat actually takes it because he sees that Rudeus is angry for the first time. Like it's when the quiet kid like raises his voice. So basically Soldat kind of like hears out Rudeus. He's like, oh shit, this guy's like a bit complex. Like now I see what's up with him. So yeah, they get to talking, like where he just kind of like tells him all his problems. It stems from him not being able to seg Sarah. He thinks their relationship is ruined, and now he's just like super angry with himself. He also like reveals that Eris left him. So he never really got over Eris. He's like crying. And yeah, they kind of need to solve his erectile dysfunction problem. So yeah, I guess Daddy Soldat is walking with Rudeus. It was like so kind of weird, but I guess it's a good way to have them become friends. So they kind of go to a brothel, and then Rudeus sees like this hot girl there. She kind of like does all the tricks in the book to get him hard. She probably even tried the tornado trick, but none of that was enough. He wasn't able to solve the erectile dysfunction. So this was also a funny scene. Like wholesome brothel workers trying to help Rudeus with his problem. And yeah, they kind of see that like he might be afraid of women and he just needs like a woman that he can trust. But it takes time to build these emotional connections. But then yeah, when Rudeus's mind gets a bit clearer, he talks to Soldat and he's like, I guess I'll talk to Sarah because we didn't really talk after that night. So maybe if we communicate, we can solve our problems. It won't be as awkward. But before he does that, he kind of like talks shit behind her back. He's like, oh, who needs Sarah anyway? She's kind of flat. He's very childish. I don't need her. So yeah, it's like the media trope. That person you're talking shit about, they're right behind you. And she just slaps Rudeus. This was like kind of so sad. So I guess their relationship is like irreparable. So she also drops her dagger, which was kind of funny because Rudeus straight up tried to kill himself. Like, what the hell? So all that like deflects it, but like I can't believe it anymore. So yeah, I guess he's sad like his life over here is a bit over with Counter Arrow. But then Soldat kind of invites him to his team. So I guess Rudeus like goes to a new party. Gonna go on some more adventures, probably find some new things to do. I feel like his time in Counter Arrow is over, but maybe kind of like apologizes, makes up with Sarah at the end of this arc. We gotta see. But goddamn, this episode was crazy. I'm like legit reviewing an episode of an erectile dysfunction plotline. But yeah, I mean, this anime has some unique storytelling, and they're doing a good job displaying Rudeus as the OP power fantasy main character, but also like a pathetic loser at the same time. So that's pretty cool. Also, at the end of this episode, we get some end credits where basically one of the girls in Roxy's party, she's like the girl with the big hair and like likes to have sex with a lot of people. He finds out what town Rudeus is in because like he's so famous. So I guess they're one step closer for Roxy's party to find him. So yeah, I guess this was a solid episode. You know, this anime's crazy. I'm gonna keep checking it out. And yeah, Mushoku Tensei continues. All right, so for Zom 100, episode 3, another solid episode. The OP is a banger. This whole environment's so funny. I love our main dude Akira following him. He's so positive. And yeah, this episode we made a lot of new characters. Akira basically visits Shinjuku. It's kind of like crazy. There's all these maids, host clubs, bars, like a lot of nightlife. So yeah, just like everyone's turned into zombies. It's very chaotic. And here he's trying to rescue his best friend. This whole anime kind of feels like anti-work propaganda as well, because yeah, all these jobs are so shitty. Everyone hates their job. And since the zombie apocalypse is here, if you're not really worried about dying, you're kind of like having fun. But yeah, basically Shinjuku is really messy, but then we realize, oh, why Akira's like going here. So, you know, he crosses off some stuff to do on his bucket list. He like kind of tries to grow a beard, but it doesn't really look that good. And then he realizes that the internet is back up since not a lot of people are using it. So now he can like kind of text his friends. And he sees his boy Kensho. He was part of like his college rugby team. And he's like, oh, let me hit him up. Let me see how he's doing. Because he's pretty tough. No way he would die. And then yeah, we see Kensho. He's trying to survive at the sex club. But yeah, all the zombies are like half naked, just walking around. He's like trapped in his room. He's been drinking water for 3 days, no food. And then the reason he survived was he was in the bondage room. So he was able to tie up the zombie. But basically his life seems to be over. But then he gets a call from Akira. He's like, yo, what you doing, bro? Akira's not so happy. He's like, yeah, I'm like kind of trapped in Shinjuku. I'll text you the address. And then yeah, Akira's like, I'm coming. I'm on my way. So yeah, I guess he'll rescue his boy. This is kind of crazy. Like, I love the positivity here. And we also got Kensho's backstory where he was like a very successful dude. He was kind of like a real estate agent. He did a lot of big deals. He talked to a lot of famous people. His girlfriend was a supermodel, so he was living the life. When he was drinking with Akira, Akira was just like so sad and depressed. And then he was like, bro, why don't you quit your job? So yeah, that was kind of like their last interaction because Akira was just like mad at him for showing off. So then Akira kind of wants to meet him to apologize. So yeah, he just like drives into the city. He kind of like sets off a car bomb and then he goes to rescue Kensho. Also, we see there's some side characters, like there's this host club with dudes, and then inadvertently, like Akira kind of rescues them with the car bomb. So yeah, I guess he's doing a lot of good. So yeah, basically he rescues Kensho. There's no zombies in the club anymore. They're talking, he's crying, he's like, oh, I'm sorry, like I kind of drove you away. I should have quit my job, it was so much easier. And then yeah, he's just yelling a lot. So yeah, the zombies kind of like pick up their trail and then they have to run to the roof. So yeah, they're on the roof. The problem is they're kind of trapped with Nintendo. He's like, yo, let's just jump. So yeah, the other building across, it's pretty far, but Akira has a running start, just goes through. So he's so positive. He can do whatever he wants. And he gets scraped up on the jump. He's like bleeding from the head, but he's still like, all right. So then he also tells Kensho to jump, but Kensho, like, he can't do it. And he reveals his true feelings about his work. Like, even though he was so successful, like he talked to famous people, fucking supermodels, like he just never felt fulfilled. Like if he makes people take bad contracts, it'll help him in his profitability. So yeah, basically he thinks the working life is soul sucking. It's not him. He used to be like kind of like a funny guy. So basically Akira's like, it's not too late. Quit your job and jump. So he jumps. I thought this anime would be a bit dark, so I was assuming he'd just like kind of fall and die, and it'll be like a complete tonal shift, and we'll meet some more characters later. But no, he survives. He kind of like almost falls, but then he grabs onto the ledge. But I do realize he's one of the guys into OP, but he probably dyed his hair blonde. So yeah, this dude Kensho joins the team. His new job, he wants to be a comedian. So yeah, I guess that's cool. But like his problem is that his only gimmick is like sex jokes or being naked. So yeah, I guess he needs some new material. Besides that, though, this anime continues very wholesome. Seeing like the adventures of Tendo, like all these characters seem super realistic as well. We're probably going to keep meeting new characters until like our main cast of 4 people meet up with each other, and then yeah, go around, do some more zombie adventures. So yeah, solid anime. Okay, so for Helck episode 2, more kind of funny battle adventures in this demon world. So yeah, Helck is like still part of the competition. He's in the semifinals. There's like 10 plus competitors still here, and Vermilio, she's determined to have Helck fail still. So she kind of like still sabotages Helck doing like a horse race. The thing is, Helck's horse is like this little fluffy dog, so they can't really run the race because the dog is just like crying and just like is stuck in the start line. So yeah, all the characters are just going through. They have like a massive head start, and yeah, Helck, he's still positive. He's smiling. He's like taking care of the dog. So Yeah, I guess it's kind of wholesome. All the other characters are kind of like fighting, attacking each other, trying to like race. It's like a, you know, JoJo steel ball run horse race right here. But yeah, Helck, he kind of like makes the dog feel better and it starts running. So he's just like running on top of it. He's just breaking the rules. But I guess no one really cares. So they can't really disqualify him. They still try to sabotage him, blow him up. But yeah, all their plans kind of fail. And Helck, he's just running top speed. He's running faster than the horses, and he makes it through the finish line. So it's kind of close. One of the other demon dudes almost beat him, but they're on to the finals. There's like 5 more dudes left, and the winner of the finals will become the new demon lord. We see another demon lord, Azudra, so he seemed to be like very injured, but he shows up to help Vermilio, and he's like, okay, what if for the finals we have everyone try to take back the castle that got attacked by the flying Pegasus Knights? And yeah, I guess the winner or the person that like kills the most enemies becomes a demon lord. So this does have some advantages because it makes it so Helck is gonna, you know, aid the demons if he's on their side and he's gonna beat all the enemies. And then yeah, they reclaim their castle, so it's like a win-win. So yeah, they're kind of initiating the plan. We see all the characters getting ready to fight, and then Vermilio's also joining them. So yeah, it's probably gonna be a dangerous mission. We see her shaking hands with Helck, so regrettably she has to work with him. And yeah, I guess they'll continue on their mission, try to attack these knights. We still don't know too much about them. We also don't know about Hulk's mysterious backstory, why he killed his brother, so all of that's still open. But yeah, this anime is still kind of fun. This episode, I thought like it went a bit too hard with the comedy. It got like a bit too repetitive, so it might be more action in the future. So yeah, I guess we gotta see. Okay, so for Atelier Ryza, the anime, episode 4, another cool episode, just like wholesome adventures with Ryza and the squad. Here they're going on their first real adventure because everyone is kind of like a little bit powered up. They have to like use their skills on the field, see if they're able to like do things. So yeah, Lent, he's like the strong bodyguard warrior. Ryza, she's out here trying to collect rare resources. And Tao, he's kind of like researching things. So they go into a cave, he can like kind of like decipher some things. So yeah, this is like a cool training mission. They're all kind of like out in the wild for the first time. I guess this is big growth for our characters. And yeah, they do fight like a lot of like stone rock monsters, and Ryza does collect her resource. The problem is they do like come across like this boss. It was this big kind of like stone golem with like diamonds encrusted into it. So Lenti's not really strong enough, so like they're trying to run away. But then Ryza, she wants to fight it. She has a bomb. So it's like one of her first weapons she made with alchemy. It's like this big red crate. She just yeets it at the boss, and it kind of does a lot of damage. The thing is, like, if you launch a bomb into a cave, it has like a lot of collateral damage. So yeah, this bomb is kind of big. There's a lot of smoke. No one can really see anything. Lent kind of freezes up, so everyone's like panicking. But then Tao, he sees like he can read kind of like the writing, so he sees there's an exit somewhere. So they all kind of like go into the cave exit. Tao saves them. So yeah, each of them kind of like contributed in their own way in this cave adventure. And then Empel kind of talks to Ryza, and then he tells her why the bomb was so powerful. Ryza is adept at alchemy. Her alchemy skills are like kind of unexpectedly strong. So all these weapons she's creating, all these bombs or like materials, they're actually like a higher level than expected from a beginner. So yeah, I guess this is in par with the game. She's making like high quality weapons, like level 99. So yeah, I guess Ryza has to like understand how powerful her weapons are. So yeah, the anime continues. Very nice, wholesome episode. It's just Ryza and the squad going on adventures and like growing stronger. So yeah, hopefully this development continues, but this anime is very wholesome. Ryza's styles are so nice, and each episode is just like so fun. Okay, so for My Happy Marriage, episode 3, this anime continues to be sad, but now it's a bit happy now. So yeah, we see our main dude. His name is Kyoka, and he's basically like just trying to help Mio now. They're getting a lot closer. He sees that Mio's very nice, but she's also like very traumatized. Every time Kyoko like wants to talk to her, she apologizes. Like he can't really compliment her or like, you know, talk to her genuinely because she has like a lot of trauma. So he's basically trying to break that away like by slow communication, taking care of her, giving her gifts. So yeah, I guess this is a good relationship. Both characters are kind of growing emotionally. And Mio, it was so sad because we saw her when she was really young. She was like very positive with her mother, but like 10 plus years of abuse and torture and neglect, I probably did a huge amount on her mental. So they kind of like go on a date. So that's kind of cool. They like go out on town, they buy stuff, and then he actually gives Mio a present. So he's kind of like trying to make a kimono for her. It's not going to be ready soon, but it's just like so cute. He also gives her a new comb that was broken, so that was also kind of cute. I love watching this anime. Like nothing like too much happens, but like the characters, I just want them to like be happy. We also get like some cool backstory with like Mio's parents. So her mom was like part of like this like, you know, prestigious family, and then her dad didn't really love the mom. He wanted to marry someone else, so I guess that's why like he doesn't like Mio. But basically, yeah, Mio's mom, like her family line, they kind of have the power to like mind control people. So maybe that's what Mio's power is. Like maybe she has a legit ability, but since she was being emotionally abused, she never really believed in herself or used the ability. So maybe they're setting something something up. Maybe she might have powers, maybe not. We gotta see. But yeah, a lot of plot lines here. I do have to say though, I don't really care about these supernatural abilities. They don't seem like that interesting. It just seems to be like just a random plot device to like move things forward, make things interesting. But yeah, basically we gotta deal with that. And yeah, Mio's life, I guess it's getting a bit better. It's gonna take a long time for her to like be happy though, warm up and be comfortable. So yeah, she still has all that trauma. Okay, and now for the vending machine isekai, I'll talk about this really quickly. Episode 3. So yeah, I mean, he transforms into a new thing this episode. He transforms into like a condom vending machine because the population's kind of growing. So like the health department's like asking, oh, is there anything he can do to like, you know, save the people? And he's like, yeah, this will prevent STDs. So I guess that was funny. Like each episode, he's kind of like transforming into new things. So that's cool. We see that Boxo is also like able to be invisible, so he can like sneak around, be quiet. He also hangs out in the shared bath. He gives people like milk and drinks. So yeah, it's all good. Also, there's kind of like a love rivalry because like there's like the little tsundere girl that's really rich, and she wants the vending machine. So yeah, I guess she's competing with Lamis for it. And yeah, there's also this one huge plot point in this anime that they kind of like brush off. So you use all your money on the vending machine. The money doesn't go back into the economy. It doesn't recirculate. The silver coins are just gone forever. And then they kind of just ignore it. They're like, they notice that this is like a bad thing, but they're like, oh yeah, don't worry, it's not our fault. And yeah, like that's kind of nuts. Like, shouldn't the money recirculate? Like, won't this be like a big problem like coming in the future? Like maybe not in the short term, but in the long term, like all your coins are gonna disappear. Maybe they'll uncover it later. But yeah, vending machine isekai continues. Okay, so for Rent a Girlfriend season 3, episode 3. Yeah, I don't know why I keep talking about this anime, but yeah, you know, I gotta review the trash. This episode was like kind of nothing special. The movie plotline goes on. I guess the main big thing that happened was in the ending where Yaimori, she's talking with Mizuhara because like they have to kind of like sell off some of her stuff as like incentives for the Kickstarter. So they're adding more rewards and incentives to get more money. Anyway, after that, like Yaimori admits to Mizuhara that Kazuya likes him. That's kind of like a big violation in like his privacy because he told you the secret in confidence. And yeah, she basically admits it to her. And that was like the big cliffhanger at the end of this episode. I don't think like this will lead to anything anyway because, you know, Mizuhara, she's like, you know, no, these guys are very inexperienced, I guess. And yeah, they're like kind of, they brush off the love. They're like, no, I don't love him. They don't love her. So yeah, Yaimori's like a bit realistic. She's trying to like wingman Kazuya, so we'll see if it works out. Okay, so for Reign of the Seven Spellblades, episode 3. Another kind of interesting episode, I guess. So like everyone's kind of stuck in like this underground chamber, this labyrinth. And yeah, there's like a lot of like high class students attacking them, like year 4, year 5. So yeah, our year 1 students are kind of trapped here. They're like basically about to die. And they're trying to run away. So yeah, this school is like a bit brutal. You don't want to like go out at night. But yeah, basically like while they're fighting, they get rescued. Like 2 people are kind of using like kind of like insane magic where like one of the women, she was like giving birth to a baby. That was like her power. She like summons a giant like undead baby kaiju. And the other dude, he kind of like summons like a skeletal kaiju. So like these 2 people seem to like do human experimentation to like get their powers, which is like kind of whatever. After that though, I think like the big kind of plot reveal is that like while they like kind of they get out safely, we like kind of learn what a Spellblade is. So it is like a secret technique that can basically one-shot anybody. And there's basically 6 Spellblades so far. So it takes like a lot of time and research, and not a lot of people can do it. So yeah, maybe like in this anime, we'll invent the next Spellblade. We don't really know how overpowered the Spellblade is. It's just like a magical ability that requires like a lot of research to accomplish. Also after that, we see the samurai girl. She kind of like wants to die. It felt like life was a dream, and then the only thing she knew was to fight. She didn't really know about making friends or peace. So like when she did have a friend, like the main character here, Oliver, the only way that she knows how to like kind of become real friends is to fight and die. So yeah, that's why she was very trigger happy, loves to like, you know, fight things stronger than her, use her sword. The squad kind of convinces her to change her way of life, and they're like, yeah, you don't gotta die, you can just like hang out and be friends with us. So yeah, I guess that wraps up the drama between her and Oliver. And yeah, besides that, yeah, the anime continues. All right, and now for NieR Automata. So yes, this anime finished up. It came in this winter, and finally like 6 months later, the anime is finished. So yeah, there's a second core announced, but basically we left off on episode 8. I'm not really gonna spoil the future content in case you like want to keep up. But yeah, basically 9S got kidnapped, and this kind of like shows the aftermath of everything. So this anime basically covered like what I expected, which was ending A, and I kind of really liked it. It was a bit different and also had like a lot of like cool similarities with the games. The fight scenes were kind of well animated, but yeah, the big elephant in the room, like the huge ass production issues. Sorry, this delay kind of ruined this anime so badly. I still really like kind of enjoyed it. Like playing the game is like a much better experience in general though, because like the game is like next level. The music music and everything's insane. But yeah, this anime still had the same music. But yeah, basically though, since it finished up, I say I really liked it. I think when it started, people didn't like the CGI robots and everything. And then yeah, you could just obviously play the game instead of watching the anime. But yeah, there's still a second core. I'm gonna keep up with it. But yeah, basically a lot of like stuff with 9S. He's kind of like the main character, but then yeah, 2B's also like hanging out with him. They're fighting all these robots. Adam and Eve seem to be like the main antagonists. And Yorha seems to also be kind of evil. And that is it for the animes this week. Thank you for watching. Very solid week. Jujutsu Kaisen, it really is Gojover. So yeah, really excited to see what happens next. Bleach is kind of heating up. And all these other shows are just like fun and interesting.